Learn from the leader.
Tonight, breaking developments as we come on the air. This evening, an angry President Trump answering our correspondents' questions after the health care bill is dealt a fatal blow. And the new move tonight, a vote to repeal Obamacare and worry later about a fix. What this would mean for millions of Americans and their health coverage. Major new developments tonight, the bride-to-be shot by police. She had just called 911 for help. Why were the police body cams not on? And tonight, the new audio right here. You will hear the desperate calls about CPR from the patrol car. The mysterious death of a newborn baby just 18 days old. The mother and father with their own warning tonight and what doctors are now saying. Breaking developments, images coming in from the scene. The boy killed during boating safety instructions. And the economy and your money tonight. Buying a new car and the one thing you can do that might save you thousands.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. And we begin with a visibly frustrated and disappointed President Trump. It was one of his major campaign promises that he would repeal and replace Obamacare. But tonight, the Republican bill in the Senate is dead after members of his own party blindsided him. Tonight, he's now lashing out, saying he's heard for 7 years his party vowing to repeal and replace Obamacare, and they did not do it. And tonight here, his newest salvo, let Obamacare fail. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl asking the president today for his reaction. And here's what he said.
The president's top legislative priority is now dead, and it was fellow Republicans who dealt the fatal blow. At the White House today, we asked him about it.
Mr. President, are you angry at the Republicans who came out against this health care bill?
Disappointed. Very disappointed. I don't think it's dead, no, but I'm certainly disappointed. For 7 years I've been hearing repeal and replace from Congress, and I've been hearing it loud and strong, and then when we finally get a chance to repeal and replace, they don't take advantage of it.
Republicans had voted more than 60 times to repeal all or part of Obamacare. But that was when Barack Obama was in the White House and able to stop it. As candidate, Trump promised he'd deliver.
And we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare.
We will do it, and we will do it very, very quickly. It is a catastrophe.
You're going to have such great health care at a tiny fraction of the cost, and it's going to be so easy.
Shortly before taking office, he suggested he would be able to repeal and replace in a flash.
It will be essentially simultaneously. Will most likely be on the same day or the same week, but probably the same day. Could be the same hour.
But it didn't take long to see it wouldn't be so easy.
It's an unbelievably complex subject. Nobody knew that health care could be so complicated.
In May, the president brought some 200 Republican members of Congress to the White House to celebrate when repeal and replace passed the House.
Hey, I'm president. Can you believe it, right?
But after that, the president let Senate Republicans take the lead, doing little himself to sell the bill to the country as the opposition flooded into town hall meetings and protests. Last night, the president was blindsided when it fell apart. It was just after a dinner with a handful of Republican senators who support the bill where he learned that 2 of their colleagues had just announced they'd vote no. This morning, he tweeted, "Most Republicans were loyal, terrific, and worked really hard."
Were these Republicans disloyal?
Well, they were not disloyal. They had their own reasons. I was very surprised when the 2 folks came out last night because we thought they were in fairly good shape.
And now the president is saying his plan to let Obamacare, which has helped some 20 million people get health insurance, fail. And he says none of it is his fault. The buck stops with Democrats.
And let Obamacare fail. It'll be a lot easier. We're not going to own it. I'm not going to own it. I can tell you the Republicans are not going to own it. We'll let Obamacare fail, and then the Democrats are going to come to us, and they're going to say, how do we fix it?
All right, so let's get to Jonathan Karl live at the White House tonight. And John, the president is now saying let Obamacare fail. We just heard it there from him. He also tweeted late last night, vote to repeal right away, essentially deal with the fix later. Where does that stand?
Well, Senate Republicans are planning to do that vote on simply repealing most of Obamacare, a repeal that would happen over the course of 2 years, giving them time to replace it. But, David, tonight it looks like that has virtually no chance of passing either.
So let's get more on that, John. Thank you. The Senate Republican leader tonight said he will hold that vote. He'll hold it next week to repeal Obamacare and worry essentially about the fix sometime later. Tonight we've learned the vote is coming, and after 7 years of Republicans promising to repeal Obamacare, as you heard John say, they would then get 2 more years now to come up with a plan. But ABC's Mary Bruce already getting an earful on that idea. She's on the Hill for us tonight.
Shortly after President Trump finished dinner with those Senate Republicans, the final blow. 2 Republicans saying no to the plan the president wanted passed. The president then tweeting, "Just repeal, come up with a fix later." Tonight, Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is promising that vote.
Well, this has been a very, very challenging experience for all of us.
Challenging after 7 years of fighting to repeal and replace. Republicans now control the House, the Senate, and the White House, but still no agreement on a bill. What's next on health care?
We're going to vote to repeal it, I think.
The vote to repeal, if passed, would give them 2 more years to come up with a plan to replace Obamacare. But some moderate Republicans worry it could leave their constituents back home hanging.
I said in January we should not repeal without a replacement, and just an indefinite hold on this just creates more chaos and confusion.
But already this last-ditch effort to save their promise to repeal appears dead on arrival.
But if Plan C isn't going to do it, are you seeing any kind of consensus around a Plan D?
No, there's you can go all the way to Z, X, Y, Z, right? So.
But Americans on both sides likely getting more and more frustrated about this. Mary Bruce live on the Hill for us tonight. And Mary, Republican Senate leaders just announced they're going to move ahead with this repeal-only vote next week. Do they have the votes for this one?
Yeah, David, they are plowing ahead, even though this vote seems almost certain to fail. Tonight, at least 3 Republicans say they oppose a vote on a straight repeal. That's enough to sink this effort, but GOP leaders seem determined to get Republicans on the record on this issue that's defined them for the last 7 years. David.
Mary Bruce live on the Hill for us. Mary, thank you. Meantime, the other major development tonight, the special counsel investigating Russian meddling, Robert Mueller, is now diving into that meeting at Trump Tower, as we now learn tonight of yet someone new in that meeting, along with the Russian lawyer. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross.
A new revelation tonight about that meeting at Trump Tower. Don Jr. welcoming the Russian lawyer after he was told she had dirt on Hillary Clinton direct from the Russian government. The president's son says he's been transparent.
So as far as you know, as far as this incident's concerned, this is all of it. This is everything. This is everything.
But tonight, the ever-changing story changes again. The meeting first described by Don Jr. as including 5 people, then 7 people. Today had an 8th person added to its roster. There was the Russian lawyer who said she didn't know Trump was the nominee. The Russian-born American lobbyist accused of being a former Soviet counterintelligence officer. And now a Russian-born businessman named Ike Kavaladze, who gained notoriety but was not charged in an investigation of Russian money laundering in the year 2000. At the time, he called it a witch hunt. Kavaladze is now an executive for the Russian billionaire and friend of Vladimir Putin who helped set up that Trump Tower meeting. Yet another person left out of Don Jr.'s supposed full disclosure.
Did you ever meet with any other person from Russia that you know?
I don't even know. I've probably met with other people from Russia, but certainly not in the context of a formalized meeting or anything like that, because why would I?
And Brian Ross is with us now. Brian, a lot of people are going to be saying, why are we hearing about yet another name that was inside that meeting?
Well, David, it really has been a slow drip. And it helps explain why this meeting has become such a focus of the special counsel, Robert Mueller. His team wants to talk with each of the 8 people in the room. And tonight, we've also learned from Senator Dianne Feinstein that Mueller has now given Congress the okay to question Don Jr. and former campaign chairman Paul Manafort in front of the American people. And remember, David, both have said they will cooperate.
All right, Brian Ross tonight. Brian, thank you. We turn next here to new developments and new audio this evening after the deadly police shooting of a bride-to-be in Minneapolis. Tonight, the officer reported to be Mohammed Noor, a Somali American with just 2 years on the force. There had been complaints filed against him before. We are now hearing radio calls from the squad car reporting a female screaming and that one of the officers was performing CPR. ABC's Lindsay Davis in Minneapolis again tonight.
Tonight, a plea from an anguished father for an explanation about why his daughter was gunned down by a police officer.
We only ask that the light of justice shine down on the circumstances of her death.
There is now an independent investigation.
We're trying to figure out what happened. We don't know yet.
It's still unclear why officer body cameras weren't rolling during the incident, but we're now hearing the call from that patrol car after Justine Diamond's 911 call Saturday night to report a possible assault outside.
Female screaming behind the building.
Damon came out of her home into the alley behind it. 4 minutes later, an officer was performing CPR on the 40-year-old yoga instructor.
5:30, I'm starting CPR. Copy, 5:30, starting CPR.
The Minneapolis Star-Tribune says Damon was in her pajamas talking to the officer in the driver's seat when the other officer fired through the driver door. An autopsy revealed Damon died from a gunshot to the abdomen. The officer who fired the shot identified in news reports as Mohammed Noor, a 2-year veteran. According to ABC affiliate KSTP, he had 3 complaints filed against him. 2 are still open, 1 dismissed. Noor's attorney released a statement extending his condolences to the family and adding that he empathizes with the loss others are experiencing.
I'm originally from Sydney, Australia.
Damon moved to the U.S. from Australia a few years ago and talked about it in this video.
Had moved my whole life over, and that in itself had been quite a surprise to me.
She and her fiancé were due to get married in Hawaii in just 3 weeks.
Piecing together Justine's last moments before the homicide would be a small comfort as we grieve this tragedy.
And Lindsay Davis with us tonight from Minneapolis. Lindsay, what more do we know about the moment when Justine Damon approached the patrol car? Because so many are likely wondering how police couldn't tell it was a woman who needed help.
Again, David, we do know that she was reportedly wearing pajamas, but that's about it. There's so little that we know about that night. Officials who are talking aren't revealing much, and there's a growing frustration here as a result of that. They're not releasing the 911 calls or the police report or anything that would help to explain what happened in the alley behind me.
Many questions ahead. Lindsay Davis, our thanks to you again tonight. We turn here to a family tragedy and a warning from the parents of a newborn baby. Their baby dying at just 18 days old. The newborn contracting a virus that then caused meningitis. The family now says possibly from a visitor's kiss, and her new immune system could not fight it off. ABC's Lindsay Janis on the parents' warning and what doctors are now saying tonight.
Tonight, this little girl, baby Mariana, losing her life at just 18 days old after her parents say she contracted a deadly virus, possibly from an innocent kiss. Nicole and Shane Seifert documenting the tragic ordeal on Facebook, saying they hope their story will save the lives of other newborns. Mariana was born healthy on July 1st. 1 week later, her parents say she stopped eating and they rushed her to a Des Moines hospital.
How common is it for a baby to be kissed by someone and get the herpes virus?
It's pretty rare for a baby to get HSV from a kiss, but it does happen.
Doctors diagnosing her with the same virus that causes cold sores, a form of herpes, which led to the meningitis that took her life. But both parents tested negative for the virus, leading doctors to say she could have caught it from a family member who simply kissed her. Her family posting online that little Mariana had 6 blood transfusions, was airlifted to another hospital, and on Monday lost her battle with the virus. Her mother writing, "Our princess gained her angel wings at 8:41 a.m. this morning, in her daddy's arms, and her mommy right beside her."
David, Mariana's mom and dad want to warn other parents to be careful when letting people kiss their newborns. David?
Lindsay Janis with us. Lindsay, thank you. We turn next here tonight to O.J. Simpson. His parole hearing now Thursday. Will he be released from prison this fall? Tonight, what are his chances of going free as we now learn about someone who will be supporting Simpson at that hearing? ABC senior national correspondent Matt Gutman outside the Nevada prison tonight.
After 9 years at this desert prison in Nevada, O.J. Simpson is just hours away from a parole hearing that could set him free. Interest so high, it'll be streamed live, carried on multiple networks.
Count 1, conspiracy to commit a crime. Guilty.
Simpson sentenced to up to 33 years for armed robbery charges after a botched 2007 attempt to recover sports memorabilia he said belonged to him. The prison says Simpson has been a model inmate, as he told a 2013 parole board.
I've not had any incidences, despite all the stories in the tabloids and everything.
The prosecutor who helped put Simpson away says he expects Simpson to get paroled Thursday. But could Simpson's acquittal in the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, of which he's denied involvement, come into play?
I think there's about a 52% chance that he will get parole. But if he weren't O.J. Simpson, I'd say it would be 92.
And